Ciao YouTube. I'm back with another video. I have a whole new whiteboard I spent all morning making. I'm not feeling that great today, but as you can see, I probably look like I'm gonna fall asleep. I just don't feel good. I'm gonna do my best to process my thoughts and everything into this because it took me quite a bit of time. Now, what I want to get into is vitamins and minerals. A lot of people don't know many things about this. They just grab things and then they wonder why they're not feeling so great. So there's many. Let's get into this quickly. Keep this short. Okay, have my board. That's why I'm looking here. So with vitamins and minerals, I'm going to break down all these references that are used. So that's what I'm getting into, and then I'm going to break down what each one is used for and what it means. I'm going to break it down as little as possible here. So, dietary reference intake, DRI. That's what DRI means. If you see DRI, it means dietary reference intake. Okay? DRI is the estimated level of nutrient intake used in aiding the diets of healthy individuals. Now, any studies that are made are always based on healthy individuals. They always go on what they deem a healthy person because they can estimate and do their testing better on somebody that they deem to be already pretty much having everything that's already needed, nutrient-wise and physically fit and everything like that, to the most part. Now, if you're exceeding, like if you're going to talk about people with conditions and things like that, they have different requirements. So go to the doctor because everybody has different intakes. This is why they always base every study on the healthy person, what they assume is a healthy person. So, with that said, the Institute of Medicine determines the intake doses based upon their studies of the healthy person. They then send a health policy with advice directly to the National Academy of Science. Okay? So, example, let's take my L-carnitine. So, based on this, they're sending their studies. So, their health policy, let's say, take 1 tablet twice daily. There you go. And their advice with meals. Take 2 to 4 hours prior. Take 2 to 4 hours prior to and therefore they send all the labels, health policy, and advice. Follow that is basically what they're saying. Now I'm going to break down all the other little like wordings that you'll see. So RDA, recommended daily allowance. Pretty sure a majority of people know all this if you're taking multivitamins or any kind of, your doctors here take vitamin C or biotin or calcium. So they all have recommended daily allowances again. Okay, yes, it's based on the healthy person, but again, your doctor will determine what they think your level of deficiency or whatever is. So this is what I'm also trying to point out. They're basing this on the healthy person who doesn't have deficiencies. So this is what this is all about. Now, if you're going to talk about the RDA, that's recommended daily allowance. Now you have AI, which is your adequate intake, UL, U.L, UL, tolerable upper intake level. So UL will be your upper level from your tolerable upper intake level. Go figure that one. The other one, I like this one because it's EAR. EAR. It's so easy to remember. Think EAR and its estimated average requirement. Okay? So now with all of that, I have broken it down into like the simplest paragraphs possible. So let's get into this. My mind's already just dying on me here. Okay. So RDA. RDA, recommended daily allowance. Okay, so RDA is the normal average daily intake estimated to meet a healthy individual's basic nutrient needs. Just like I said, it's based on what they deem the healthy person, if they want to take a multivitamin or whatever, their dose requirement or suggestion is based on that. Okay, I'll get into this with the bottles and everything after. Your AI, if you see AI is what? Adequate intake. So your adequate intake, AI, is used when an RDA, what's RDA? Okay, now I forgot what RDA is. Recommended daily allowance. There's just too much information. So AI is used when an RDA, recommended daily allowance, can't be estimated. So they have, with their all of their studies or whatever, they can't estimate what it would be for a reasonable person, a reasonable healthy person. Therefore, the recommended intake is then tested on groups of healthy people, and then that information is presumed to be a reasonable dose. How they come up with, I don't know, but this is how it all is. Now, your UL, your tolerable upper intake level, such a long name, your UL, that's the highest level per daily dose to be taken that has the lowest risk of side effects and poses the least threat to health. Okay? So basically, I'm going to tell you that if one is to take basically more than the suggested amount on a bottle, say my CLA says take 1 soft gel 3 times daily, okay, with food, whatever, but it's basically saying that that's there for a reason. So that's telling me that that's my safe dose. And it has been tested and everything, saying that that is the safest, least risk for side effects right there. If I go and be a jackass and go, I don't feel anything, maybe I should take 6. Then all of a sudden I'm constipated and all this crap keeps happening, and I'm thinking, oh my god, this stuff is just not good for me, it's making me sick. Stick with the recommended dose. Because I can attest for that years and years ago when I took this CLA improperly, because I was not really thinking about all these kinds of facts until like years later. I think I was taking 2 or 6. So 2, 2, and 2 spread out throughout the day. So 6. So morning, afternoon, whatever. Okay, you got that. So I was doing that, and oh my god, I was like, why does my stomach hurt so bad? I feel so many intestinal disturbances. This stuff is crap. I think it's the CLA. A month in, I'm dying. No, you can't, and then along with other supplements, L-carnitine, you have to follow the recommended thing. It's not the product, it's the way you're taking it. So to reduce any of these side effects, follow the doses. Stay below, how did I write this here? Stay below or on point with the recommended dosage on any bottle. You'll be safe that way. If you exceed it, that's at your own risk, and so many people do that, and it's so stupid. I've done it. I know a million people who still do it. They go, oh, maybe that's not enough for me. Stick with it. I am super tiny, so small people, oh my goodness, especially, like, I have to, even if this says 1 to 3 times daily with like 3 soft gels, I take like 2. And then I built a tolerance or whatever, because when you're small especially, you cut the doses in half. That's just what I've learned and what I've told people, and it has just worked better that way. It's just a common sense thing. Cut it in half if you're freaking tiny. When you're bigger, yes, you can tolerate a bit more, but don't. Because either you're not deficient, it's unnecessary, and it's just a risk you're taking for no reason. To just stick with what the bottle's saying to you. Okay, so I have water, but I'm going to get to EAR. EAR. Okay, so EAR is what? Estimated average requirement. Okay, so EAR, that's funny, EAR assesses daily nutrient intakes which are assumed to be meeting the basic needs of a gender-based group as well as 50% of individuals in a specific life stage. Yeah. Ear, its purpose is to test if the dietary needs are adequate enough to pass a basic requirement of the RDA. What's RDA? Recommended daily allowance. So ear is there to, it's so funny, it tests on gender-based group as well as 50% of individuals with specific lifespan. What I'm thinking here is, what I know, is they're testing this on ages that are deemed to be healthy. You're in the middle of like your life, a specific life stage, 20s, 30s, 20s and 30s, something like that is where the majority of these tests are going to be done, because they're going to deem those people to be the most healthiest, fittest, whatever group of people. They're not going to be, doing toddlers, because that's a totally different requirement. They're not going to be doing teens, that's a different requirement. You're going to be doing young adults, their 20s, 30s. When you get past that, then that's when people start getting more like health problems, so they're not going to fit into an age group. Or the life stage, for them to do their testing. So that's basically how these things work. If you see any of those, at least you know what they're talking about, because lots of times you're reading these letters and you have no idea what you're getting when you're getting your supplements, your sports supplements, your vitamins, your minerals, anything like that. All I can say is it's really essential to, if you aren't deemed healthy by any means, your doctor, you have problems or things like that, go ask. If you've never had problems and your doctors always say you're fine, you've had things done, your test, you're good, then if you're going to take something less of a dose or what's required. If you're healthy, I don't see why you would need it, but if you're looking for something, take less than what the recommended dose is, would be what I would say, because you'll function just fine. You function without it, you'll be fine. Okay, so I am going to go, and I hope this is a bit helpful. I'm having other ideas running in the nutritional health part of my brain's going off here. So I am going to go, and I hope that helped. Thank you. Please subscribe.